The last thing that you need to look at for when you're outsourcing, and this one is very important to me. In fact, it's one of the reasons why I started my own agency, is an over-the-top customer service. We have certain promises that we make because that's important to me. And a lot of folks come to us. And in fact, the thing that broke the camel's back this morning when I decided an hour ago, that's why we were late going live here, to change the topic of today's message is because twice this week I was told that we are more responsive, more generous, more reliable than the previous agencies that these churches have hired. And even one of them was even a Christian agency. And you can think of another one that hired me because their last webmaster was a Christian and then decided to turn from the faith. So they wanted to cut ties. And I agree with that or not, that's just what it was. But they were unsatisfied with the customer service aspect of the last agency. It's very important to me that customer service remain number one, and it should remain even higher for churches. Because as churches, we have unreasonable goals because we believe in an unreasonable God who did unreasonable things. And so our customer service needs to be quite unreasonable. I mentioned earlier, a lot of agencies only work from 9 to 5, which makes it really hard to get committees together to talk to the agency. Then you end up communicating through email, which no one likes because you can't get your point across. And then you're just trying to draw on screenshots. Hey, I like this instead, or I want this. You've got agencies that don't understand churches' needs. I've had to call people before and like, hey, we need this because we're a church, and they say, well, you don't need that. I said, yeah, but we do because we're a church. We have unique use cases. They didn't understand. They don't understand. A lot of agencies don't understand having a rotating media piece on the front page. Like, that's weird. You're not a media agency. No, we're a church. That's why we need that. And a lot of churches, a lot of pastors tell me they can't even call their web people or their SEO people. Like, they don't even have a phone number. I have to fill in a ticket and wait for them to get back to me. Whereas we have a guaranteed 48-hour response, whether we have the answer or not. And that's guaranteed. Realistically, it's more like around less than 12 hours to like have an answer for you. And that's just, it's so sad to me that people don't support their customers, but more specifically, they don't support the church. So this becomes very important. So you need to have someone that has customer service. They need to answer the phone when you call them. Okay, ain't nobody got time to submit a ticket and then get an email and get excited. Oh, they finally replied. And it's all it is an email that says, hey, we got your message. Someone will look at it within the next 2 to 5 business days. Ugh. You need to be able to call someone when you have an issue, not, hey, go online and look at the issue, right? Someone that will walk you through things, even remote in and say, hey, look, let me take a look at what it's doing on your computer. Someone that would even bounce ideas off. Hey, this sounds like I heard about this. Oh, you don't want that. Why not? Well, we can't do it. Bro, if you think that will work, let's work it out. Let's make some recommendations. Let's get this for your church because we know your mission. We know the results you want to see. So let's make it happen. That falls under a little bit of coaching, but that's just, again, the kind of culture that I've wanted to build around here. So, there needs to be over-the-top customer service. So when you're looking for, let's talk about the red flag. So when you're looking for an agency, a big red flag is they don't return your calls when they say they will. They don't meet with you when you're best able. Now, I'm not saying they should be slaves to your schedule, but they should be able to have an evening meeting if that's the only time, Pastor, that you can meet. They should answer the phone or call you back or at least text you back when you're talking about a project. They should treat customer service like salespeople, right? Salespeople are going to answer the phone. Salespeople are going to text you back. Salespeople are going to reply to emails. But once you become a customer, they're so busy trying to get new customers, they've totally forgotten about you. And as long as there's new customers they're trying to get, they won't answer your emails. They won't return your calls. That's a problem. That's a problem. So that's a red flag. They don't answer the phone or they don't call you back right away. Another red flag is, I don't know how to describe it other than not being hungry enough. Now this is more in the pre, when you're still courting, so to speak, and they don't follow up with you. They don't call you back responsively. They don't present to you out of the box ideas like, hey, I want to reach 50 people. Okay, well, I know we're talking about a website, but actually there may be another way that we can do this for you in addition to the website. And they help you, again, get to your goal, even though it's not necessarily a deliverable. So they can't just say, okay, well, that'll be $10,000. Here's a proposal. Let us know when you're ready. Bro, I ain't hiring that guy. They need to be hungry. They need to work for it. They need to follow up. I'm not saying they need to schmooze you, Pastor, but they need to care. They need to act like they care. If they don't care before you've paid their money, they're not going to care anymore after they've gotten your money. Does that make sense? It's kind of like Pastor would tell a story of premarital counseling. Or excuse me, no, it was postmarital counseling. It was counseling after they were married. And the wife was like, he's such a slob. We got married. He's supposed to clean up his act. And Pastor's like, just because you say I do doesn't mean your husband's going to start picking up the socks. Well, Pastor, just because you say I do, let's do this project, doesn't mean they're all of a sudden going to start answering your calls if they never did. Red flag. Okay. Along the same lines, emailing you in the middle of the night. Red flag. Okay. I'm not saying that it's bad to have international workers. I'm saying they should understand that you don't need to wake up to weird, mentally clogging. I mean, your mind is mentally clogged enough in the morning. You don't need website questions the first thing when you wake up on your phone or the first thing in your inbox. Okay. So they need to like work on your schedule and a typical American schedule. And customer service, man, they need to provide support, a lot of continuing support. A lot of website people call me and they're like, yeah, we had a guy build it, but he doesn't do anything with it and he didn't want to, or he built it and handed it off to us and we can't get back a hold of him. Right? There needs to be ongoing support. And I know I'm talking a lot about websites. It's just something that's real easy to communicate the message across, but this applies for your branding. Someone does your logo branding. They should be able to continue to support you with graphic templates, continuing to design your publications or sermon graphics using your not sermon graphics, but slide graphics for your pre-service, post-service, anything like that, using your branding. They should be able to continue to support them, not say one and done, because then you don't know what to do. And if you say none of that's important to you, if you say none of that is important to you, you just need a website. You just need a website. It doesn't have to be fancy. You just need a website. It doesn't have to be fancy, and I don't need to have my hand held. Okay. Then the question is, why is this an issue now? If you don't need your hand held, why are you asking about a new website? Because this should not have been a problem in the first place.